What's up, everybody? It's Why We Love Horror Television. I'm JWMaher, and that's Fiorella. And then over there is Abby. Hey, Abby. And Aaron Brooks. What's going on, guys?
I have released her from my trunk.
Finally.
For episode 8 of Dexter Resurrection Season 1 here.
Yeah.
No
just
more.
In time for it to almost be over.
Just in time for the original sin to be canceled for some reason after being like the #1 show on Paramount Plus and its viewers going up by the finale. They're like, let's cancel the show after we announce the renewal. But anyways, I won't cry about that too much. Talk about this episode of Dexter.
This episode is called The Kill Room Where It Happens.
Just imagine if Harrison knew you had killed a person.
Just one.
I placed a tracer in Mr. Morgan's vehicle.
Where are you now, Dexter Morgan?
Lowell, Mia, Gareth, and then there was Al.
Trust me and let me do my job.
And do your job.
I found the proof that the Bay Harbor Butcher is still active.
Tonight's the night I'm putting an end to this.
And that is the trailer for what we're talking about. So, like I said, Batista steps in. Huh? He steps in it pretty bad. I mean, he's not intending to, but like everything has been put in place to basically reverse gaslight Batista.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Dokes all over again in a lot of ways, where like has him so dead to rights, but he's looking so crazy. He's always like a half step behind Dexter here. Even though Dexter kind of realized with like the AirPods kind of late, I thought he kind of realized earlier than when he did.
Yeah.
About being tracked. I thought that was pretty surprising and like sloppy. And overall, like more and more, I'm realizing some of my early kind of theories and thoughts about Dexter and like what he's aware of and what he's setting up. Like I'm giving him too much credit because he's just not being careful. Like, how he gets caught by Prater at the end of this episode and so many other things we'll get into. Like, so I need to kind of dial it back on that end. But yeah.
I guess we'll kick it over to Abby since we haven't heard from you at all this season. Like, what's up? What do you think's going on?
Well, first of all, I'm actually really liking this season a lot. I do like this a lot better than Original Sin. I think this season really feels like kind of the older seasons of Dexter. In this particular episode, I definitely agree. I feel like even in the older seasons of Dexter, there were moments where he was kind of sloppy, and there were always these moments of like, you feel like he's going to get caught in like this moment, but he's able to kind of like slither his way out of it really like just in the nick of time. So that does all feel very reminiscent of the older seasons of Dexter, especially with that whole side plot. There's also a lot of things going on, but I kind of like how they all interweave together, all of the different characters. It just feels very natural. And I really like all of the characters in this season too, even the ones that are supposed to be bad and you're not supposed to be rooting for them.
What do you think, Fiorella?
About this specific episode. So I think that the whole Charlie thing, fine. I was waiting for Charlie to I thought she already knew, actually, from the last episode to this one. I thought she had it all figured out. But it was nice to see that I didn't have to wait long for her to figure it out because she's so smart. She's so with it. It kind of took her long enough. I love the way she set it up. I love the way Prater was being a complete dick to her, and when he like screamed in her face, like, your job is to protect me, or whatever it was that he said at the very end of their conversation, then it ends with her like leaning on the car, smiling like, yeah, bitch, that's what I'm doing. So I kind of like loved that. I agree with you. I really, really love this season. This new Dexter Resurrection is pretty kick-ass.
I will come back to one theory that Aaron at least kicked around that I think still has a ton of weight, is that like, what's up with Blessing this episode? Yeah. Like the fact that like he was able to keep a secret from his daughter for like however old she is, 26, 27 years, about his childhood, when like his mother and his wife live in the same house. And then he never makes any like clear rules to Dexter, like don't talk about my life to my daughter ever. She doesn't know. And for him to get so livid over something so innocuous is weird to me.
Yeah, I thought the same thing because I was like, did we actually ever hear him say, like, let's keep this between us kind of thing? Mm-hmm. So I was really kind of confused about why it was such a big deal, or like, yeah, I was confused by that as well. That whole situation, he definitely seems a little too good to be true. I could see something more being surrounding him. But yeah, that was my initial thought as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's a New York Ripper anymore, but there is something going on with him for sure. I don't know. Like, the New York Ripper thing is not going to be solved this season. I've just come to accept that that's for the future. And maybe we don't ever really find, I don't know, but we probably will. But I'm wondering if we've really met that character at this point, just because we're running out of possibilities of who it could be.
What if the Ripper was Blessing's mom?
No.
And we're never going to catch him now.
Yep.
No, Erin, I'm still going to ride for that theory of yours. I still think it's Blessing. Okay. I took it the other, I guess he kind of did give the warning, and he said it again when he confronted Dexter, when he said, I do not mix that darkness with my household.
Yes.
So that kind of was like, if you think back, you could kind of be like, oh crap, that kind of was his warning. Like, listen, I'm telling you, but I'm not allowing this.
Yeah, or it's a red herring that's like supposed to have us going down that.
Right. I also think, as far as keeping that secret from his daughter, I also think that's very much a cultural thing, in the sense of, like, I see even with you and I, like, you are way more like forthcoming with our children, and I'm more like, no, you hide things from kids, so they could like be scared and do the right thing. So anyways, that was just my sad thing, but yeah. I also don't think Blessing got as angry as I anticipated him to get.
He's like a quiet anger. He said, you betrayed me, and just walks out, which is like really pretty powerful. But also, like, to go in a different direction with Blessing, talking about like bringing darkness home. Now we're at like this precipice where like Harrison's asking to live at the house for at least a weekend. Yeah. He's under NYPD investigation. Like, Angel hasn't given up on Dexter. He knows where Dexter lives. And now Prater and Charlie probably know where he lives too. So the darkness is coming to Blessing's house, whether he likes it or not.
Oh yeah.
And Blessing still has his ring camera that's shown in like every shot.
Yeah.
So that's going to come up at some point. I guess it didn't come up with Gemini, or it has, and Blessing's going to have a bunch of evidence at some point that he's going to reveal. Like, something's going to come to roost with all that. Like, there has to be at some point, besides just the like AirPods thing, Dexter's going to get caught up in the surveillance of like times now, and like how a cell phone or a camera or something like is going to at some point, more than just what happened with Batista for the brief moment.
Yeah.
And then maybe we're burying another lead. Al gets away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He gets away. Like
so I do have some thoughts on that.
Are you guys kind of happy about that, though?
I mean, I am definitely glad it didn't just turn out to be like another serial killer killed in an episode, and we're done with all of them in 5 episodes.
I love that he's like Trump American, like, Hamilton has rap in it. Fuck this. He just bails.
I kind of wonder if he was ever at that Hamilton performance, because like I think maybe he ends up being a little more ominous and smarter than he's led on to be. I think that, with how like anxious Dexter was to see him, I think he caught on to that a little bit. Everybody's disappeared now. He's gonna, 3 different killers have been killed in the matter of however many weeks, and like all of a sudden this new guy who's, when he showed up, all these people started disappearing. Is like, I want to meet for coffee at 11 o'clock at night. Like, I want
to hung on to the phone until Dexter called them to throw it away. Like, and not just threw it away sooner and just bailed. He waited until to have that phone call, and then he throws the phone.
He doesn't want to let on. If he is onto something, and I do agree with you, Aaron, in that. I mean, he has been an uncaptured serial killer for so many years, not because he's an idiot,
Yeah.
So I do think maybe that like he was waiting for that phone call. He figured Dexter would call him and was like, okay, now peace out. But I'm not giving Dexter a reason to feel suspicious and hunt me even more.
Yeah, and I just wonder if like he's kind of onto him. I wonder if he does actually live in Wisconsin, or if that was just kind of bullshit, or if he kind of figures I'll just throw my family under the bus. He's not going to go after my family, and he doesn't go back to Wisconsin. Something along those lines, but I think it does come back to one of my other theories, which is that Al is going to kill Elsa. I think that's more live than ever, especially by how this episode ends with Prater seeing Harrison with Dexter. It's eventually going to reveal, and it's eventually going to lead to, I no longer think Prater knows who he is. Apparently Prater's just a dumbass with like a ton of, like, who's just
got
not
a hard on for these serial killers
and not going to really find out who they are and what they look like before letting them in and showing them blood sites and their brother's table and all these other things that, like, they just did like a tiny bit of research, maybe they would have, but whatever, what's the worst that could happen. I'll just ignore all that because it does kind of annoy me. But Prater, when he finally figures this out and puts it all together, he's going to be super excited. He's to be a Harbor Butcher. He's going to be like, oh, a new toy. I can't believe I have the real thing. Like, he's going to react like super excited about it. Charlie's probably going to sacrifice him, like whatever, something to those effects. And Charlie's going to go into the sunset. And like Dexter's going to be like, thanks for saving me and my boy. But
there's an overarching theory that I've heard, not my theory, but that Prater does know he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he set it up knowing that he would kill these people. Because
I feel like there are too many like dumb characters, Prater being one of them. Because I feel like a lot, again, going with the Al theory, like everybody's acting too stupid or too naive in this. I feel like those two in particular definitely know something more is going on. And that's actually a really good theory.
Yeah, so
that would be pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, so I hope he does know, and I do think that eventually, or not eventually, soon, next episode or the episode after that, Prater's going to be talking to Al as a way to get back at Dexter for ruining his little serial killer club, and part of that's going to be like, I've seen this Harrison boy with this ponytailed woman a lot, Al, and then Elsa gets got. Probably after they
in their heated apartment, because that's fixed,
right? And probably after they have a fight over Harrison having sex with that other weird girl, and then so because of that, Harrison's gonna be like, I don't even care about you, Elsa, and like so he's not gonna be there to be able to protect her when Al comes in, and Al's gonna off Elsa. Dante's gonna be an orphan because Al doesn't kill kids.
Okay.
So Dante is just going to be an orphan, maybe.
Dante will have an asthma attack, and nobody will be there to give him his nebulizer. Oh no!
That could be a way to get rid of.
He'll die in his mom's blood.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't quite make sense just because they did get that apartment fixed. But either way, Elsa is dead from Al. Still, it's definitely still alive for me.
All right.
My theories on Thursday, I was just texting John all day with all these theories. They all fell flat. The closest one was Charlie knowing who it was.
Yeah.
I thought Elsa was going to get killed this episode because of Dexter, and that Harrison would hate Dexter because of that.
Yeah.
And Vinny survives.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about this episode is, and it's a very like nitpicky thing about Dexter himself. Like Dexter has always said, like when the Dark Passenger takes over, he has to kill. And he didn't kill anybody.
Well, that was in his plan with Vinny.
No, but he says it in this episode too. Like, like he was ready to kill Al. He's got to do something. He stages this whole thing and deliberately lets him go.
Yeah.
But he still hasn't killed anybody.
Well, the second he had the mask on, the pantyhose, the old school masks of the 80s, I was like, what's going on here? Because I did fall for the, oh my God, Dexter's finally unhinged. Because like, this is not, like, he's a shitty person, the landlord, but like he's not like kill worthy, right? By
and
the
he
code.
indirectly killed somebody.
He did, but not by the code, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, but then I saw the mask, and that did trigger like a half second of like, he never wears the masks when he's like got them on the table. So then once that scene unraveled, I was like, oh, he was always gonna let this guy go. He's not unhinged quite yet. So I don't think he was ever gonna do it. That was his plan.
But I'm saying he's got to kill somebody. Like his dander's up. You know what I mean?
Right. And then he'll find someone. He's in New York City.
All right, we'll see what happens. Anything else for this episode before we get to these ratings?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Really quick, what do you think is up with the new girl? You think she's just thrown in there as just like distraction, or do you
I think it's as a way to get Harrison distance from Elsa in a complicated, problem with Elsa, and then Elsa to get killed.
That will probably happen.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have Fiorella go first. Go ahead.
Again, still loving it. It's not a 5 for me, but I'll still give it like a 4.5.
All right, I'm not as negative on this as I was last week because it was cool to stop the momentum, and not that I'm rooting against Dexter, but it was cool to see the momentum stop. So I'm gonna go up to a 4 this week for myself. Abby?
Yeah, I agree. I really like this episode a lot. I will give it a 4 also.
And Aaron?
Yeah, it's a bridge episode to the final 2 episodes. So I think it had a little less convenient moments than last week. So 4 videotapes for me as well.
All right. Well, hopefully Original Sin does come back. I'm waiting to see this. This is just an early April Fool's gag. But if you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the Letterboxd challenge there. We have a show about it too. We'll get to that in a second because the schedule is as follows. Sunday is Why We Love Horror TV. You're watching it. Monday is Versus. Tuesday is Why Liv Loves Horror, which feels like doing anything. Wednesday, Aaron and Wines. Thursday is the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd challenge watch along show. And Friday, you get 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror trivia. Until next time, I am JWMaher, and that's Fiorella over here. And those are the Brooksons over there, Abby and Aaron. We'll see you next week on Why We Love Horror TV.